Sit back, relax, and let's have a chapter chat. I'm your host, Jessica Foster, and today we are going to talk about early learning. We have Tammy Valdez and Brooke Powell from the Early Learning Coalition of Northwest Florida here with us. Ladies, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us. We're so excited. We really are.
Well, I'm so excited to have you. Normally, we are talking to authors on this podcast, but today we're doing something a little different because we want to talk about getting young kids ready for kindergarten and reading to them at an early age. And that's what the Early Learning Coalition is all about.
Sure. We exist to help children and families make sure that their little one is ready to learn and thrive on their very first day of kindergarten. So we have so many free resources that help families with that.
And what's great about these resources is you're based in Florida here, but it's not just available in Florida, it's available for anyone.
It is. Babies learn all the same. So what the tips and the ideas that we have it's worldwide. Every child learns the same. Their brains are developed. 90% of a child's brain is developed before age 5. So that birth to 5, that early learning space is just huge. It's a must-have, and parents they just need to understand and get back to some of the basics and understand what they need to do to help their child.
Well, I think in our society, we're so technologically driven. And I know I'm guilty of it myself, being on a screen all the time. That screen time's not really healthy for children, though.
Yeah, research is showing that it's really not healthy at all, especially for those very first early years. But we know what kind of world we live in. We know that technology is here to stay. And there are some, as the children get older, there are some platforms that we actually endorse for learning. But in that first few years, those first 2 or 3 years, you and your kid reading, you and your baby reading is the best way to interact and help those children learn.
And start reading when they're an infant.
Start reading when they're in the belly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And give them those books. There's when I have a granddaughter now, and when she was first born, a group talked to me about the stages and how it's okay, like never take a book away. Let them chew on the book, because you've got those cloth ones. Let them chew on the book. Let them hold it in their hand. Let them accidentally rip a page. Don't correct them. Let them do whatever they need to do to the book. It's all stages. So eventually they'll be turning the pages. They'll be reading with you. So just that engagement with the books, that one-on-one, and letting them hold it in their hands is so important.
That is so interesting that you said that, because it took me back to a time when my daughter was little. And I was always, as a child, I never wanted to mess my books up. I didn't want to write in them. I didn't want to rip the pages. That was just my personality. Well, my daughter, she would love to write in her books, and maybe there would be a ripped page. And luckily, I did not correct her with that. I let her do what she wanted to do with her books. But inside, I was like,
yeah.
You're writing all over your book. But again, it's part of that developmental stage.
And that love for literacy. My own mother is a literacy expert, and I say that because it's true. She truly is a literacy expert. And one of the things that she tells families, it may not be that your child ever wants to sit down and read a chapter book. If they want to read a comic book, let them read a comic book.
Yeah.
Just however that you can get children to love literacy and to want to open a book. And we find wherever we go, because we give out a lot of free books, we find that when we go to an event, a child cherishes a book. They will take that book and this is for me, I can have it. So if our local listeners follow us on our Facebook page, we're everywhere all the time, giving away free books and resources throughout our 7-county area, because we want that child to have a library. We want every child in our area to be ready to love to read and thrive and flourish in school.
And so you cover 7 counties in Northwest Florida. But if people are listening, because we have listeners really all over the world, there are local resources for them too.
Sure.
You just have to seek that out.
Just seek them out. The best place would be to go to your local library and they will guide you because they're throughout the state of Florida. We've got New World's Reading Initiative, Dolly Parton's Imagination Libraries
Right.
everywhere. So all throughout, they would be able to find resources if they just check out what's going on at their local libraries.
And that again just emphasizes how important our local libraries are.
I love that we've moved from the librarian in our glasses and her pulled back hair shushing people to a vibrant, joyful place.
When you're working with families and trying to educate them on this, what are some of the things that you hear from them that you're like, oh, I didn't realize that people might not know that?
So being ready for kindergarten is many stages. It's not all about ABCs and one, two, threes. It's also about giving your child confidence. So on that first day of school, they're ready to open up that lunchbox and eat everything. They're ready to use the restroom by themselves. They can pick out their coat by themselves. They've just given that independence that they need. So you can start working on that at home now. It's just, but I know when my kids were little, if and it's been a few years, but it was helpful. Let me cut this, let me open this for you.
Yes.
Pull back a tad and let them learn to do some things on their own. You don't even realize that you're doing it, but it really is, it's going to be, imagine a kindergarten teacher and she's got 18, 20 children that she's got to open up all their lunch boxes. So just give them that little confidence and that independence before they start.
And Jessica, you said earlier before we started talking about early intervention and how early intervention is key. We locally use Help Me Grow Northwest Florida, our program, which is part of a statewide and part of a national program. So your listeners anywhere can go to Help Me Grow and look for those free questionnaires to discover if their child has any developmental delays or any potential delays. And then Help Me Grow will help them through the system so that before they go to kindergarten, before it becomes something that's missed, we find that early.
And I think sometimes people don't want to find out because they're afraid. Like, no one wants to hear, oh, there might be a delay. But it's crucial to find that out
Yes.
because the earlier you can intervene, the greater your chance of catching that child up or the better outcome in the long run.
Right. And if, say, for example, it's a social emotional delay. So my son has ADHD, and I'm sure he loves me putting that out there, but he does. And I wish that we had caught some of his delays before he started kindergarten
Right.
because it was difficult. That transition to kindergarten was difficult. And now we have so many tools to help families before they get to kindergarten, before it's becomes something that they might not be able to overcome later.
Well, and I think that families need to also know that they're not alone.
No, no.
There are so many people in our society who are neurodiverse. And really, that's a beautiful thing. And we need to celebrate it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I think society's getting better about that
Yes.
too.
I mean, my son's ADHD is a superpower for him now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's and I love watching the things that are different in him.
Uh-huh.
And like you said, we celebrate that. However, there are some drawbacks in the classroom setting. For example, until we figured out some behavioral therapies, he was sitting on the other side of the room because he couldn't sit next to children.
Uh-huh.
So as part of our programming, we try to help families with those social things. So when they go to kindergarten, they can sit with their classmates because that was tough on him not to be able to sit because he couldn't physically keep his hands to himself.
Right.
So we figured that out and he was able to join the classroom. But what if we'd figured that out before he went and before his little psyche took a hit?
And it could just be things that you need that we can give them to do at home. Maybe when they do, our developmental screenings are called ASQs. So when the parent completes the ASQ with their child, something might be borderline. So we'll just give you some activities that you can do at home. Maybe you'll join one of our Kaleidoscope play and learn groups so that you can work one-on-one. That's what that is. It's a group where families can bring their children and just speak to other moms, other caregivers, and learn from our facilitators on just some things that are important and ways that they can manage it at home.
And don't you think that community aspect is so
So
important?
important.
Yeah, it's important for the caretakers too, isn't
And
it?
we've lost, and we discuss this often because we want to find the families and children who need us that may not be in formalized childcare. And we talk about this often that families don't gather as much as they used
No, they
to. They
don't.
don't gather. So again, anybody who's listening, go to your library. The libraries always have programming where whatever they call it, it might be a mommy and me, it might be a kaleidoscope play and learn, it might be just a structured story time, playtime. But there are other moms out there that are, and dads
Hmm.
and grandparents and aunts and uncles who are taking care of children who are in the same boat as you, who have the same questions. Who I love that you're doing this podcast that, that lets people know you're not alone and
No.
those places are out there for you to just go sit and have a cup of coffee with another mom or another dad and just talk about what's going on in your world.
I also think it's important because, we talk a lot about mommy guilt,
Mm.
right?
Mhm.
And if you see that your child may have a delay, there might be that tendency to say, "Oh, what have I done?
Sure.
What have I
Mhm.
done wrong?" And no one needs to put that on themselves
No.
at all.
Mm-mm.
We need to be like a no judgment zone area here.
Yes, and boy, there's a lot of judgment out there. I mean, there's so much judgment out there, but I find that when you seek out those groups, you're
Yes.
seeking it out for a common cause.
And I
And
think you realize it's more common than you think too.
Sure. Yes.
well, because you get out into you find your group, and then because sitting at home, you may not realize that.
Exactly.
But when you find your group and then you're like, okay, we may be able to tell you that you're worrying for nothing.
Uh-huh.
Let's do a screening, and there's absolutely nothing wrong. Maybe baby just needed some social interaction with some other children.
Mhm.
So it could be absolutely nothing and easily handled. But to know that you're not alone, there's others, and that there's programs like Help Me Grow that can help you navigate all of
Mhm.
this is huge.
And there's the virtual world. There's a ton of support groups out there. There's just a ton of mom and dad groups
Mhm.
that we see with our younger parents that's where they're turning to. And I was literally in a few today, and to see that support online when usually you don't always see such a
Mhm.
positive atmosphere. But yeah, those mom and dad groups, those parenting groups that are on Facebook and Instagram are very supportive. And you see people going in there, I've got this issue going on, or I need to find a new childcare.
Mhm.
And so people can take advantage of that too, wherever they are.
And what age groups do you mainly work with?
We're the 0 to 5 set mostly.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
developmental screenings we can do up to age 8.
Okay.
So if families want to have that done, then we can do that up to age 8.
Okay. And you actually brought some books along with you.
Did, because we're getting to the time right now in Florida where it's time to sign up for our free VPK,
Mhm.
but we're also getting to that time anywhere where our 4-year-olds are gonna be transitioning to kindergarten.
Uh-huh.
So whatever their learning space is, we provide what we call Power Up for Kindergarten. So throughout the next few months, and people can sign up for our family newsletter, they can follow our Facebook. We're going to be giving families tips on easing that transition and not have the nerves. So we recommend books like May's First Day.
Oh, how
Um,
cute.
Miss Bendergarten Goes to Kindergarten, gets ready for kindergarten, sorry. And of course, The Kissing Hand, which is just a lovely, lovely book.
Okay, these are all new to me. I've got to look at these. Let's see. Okay, so May's first day of school. This looks like May is a little bit scared.
Yes, she's scared.
She's scared, but I'm assuming that May gets over that fear.
She does. She has help. She has her little support group that gives her help.
And this says it includes tear out lunchbox notes. I
How fun.
love the idea of a lunchbox note. I used to
Yeah.
do those for my daughter when she was little. I should probably still do it. She's a preteen now, but she's
You know
still.
what? Let's institute that back with our preteen and teenagers.
Think we should.
Our girls, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She might get a little embarrassed. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in there anyway. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And The Kissing Hand. Tell me a little bit about this book.
Okay, The Kissing Hand is just a lovely, lovely book about that parental love and how no matter where you are, mom and dad, whoever's going to be always there.
Oh, that's
so
sweet.
yes.
And then Miss Bendergarten gets ready for kindergarten.
And that's just a fun book about a little bit about the chaos of kindergarten, a little bit about making those first steps and just making that first day fun.
And you know what? Chaos is a little bit expected in kindergarten,
Yes.
right? That's okay.
It's totally fine.
It is okay. And we just want to make sure that the little ones are ready to go. As people follow us on our Facebook and Instagram at ELC and WF, they'll see that we're going to be out in the community, and we have these little briefcase kits, and it's for summer slide. It's for those 4-year-olds that are in that last
Few couple months.
It's a cute little briefcase with so many fun activities and when you give these children this little briefcase, they're like,
oh, how cute.
It's my briefcase.
Yeah.
And so they're excited about learning. And that's what we're trying to do, is instill an excitement for learning, an excitement for reading, for math. So these children are they're going to be little stars when they get to kindergarten.
Children learn through play. So just let them have fun, but give them the opportunity to have that fun and play. If they want to play in the dirt, if they want to dress up, pretend. My granddaughter's about to be 3, and it is all about pretending right now. But every little thing they do is helping that brain develop. Dancing and clapping your hands is one of the first reading skills. So you just let them be a child. Let them have fun and play. It's so important to play.
And I think that is another thing that we lose sometimes. Have you seen that sometimes we try to make them do activities that they might not developmentally be ready for, and then that can be a hindrance?
So that's one of the reasons why we are so focused on play. On February the 7th, we're having our Art Canoe Festival, which is in Washington County, and that is all art kids do. Kids do art, kids do play, kids do all the fun, messy things that we might want. No, don't mess that up. No, don't get dirt all over the place. You know what? Get dirt all over your clothes, because that is how kids learn through play.
Color outside of the lines.
Yes,
you don't have to color outside the lines.
When you're working on building the Easter basket out of scraps, your child's Easter basket at certain ages shouldn't look like an Easter basket. And we have the tendency to say, no, this piece should go here. Well, the piece should go where the child wants to put the piece. And we're here to help parents learn about that too. If parents have questions, shoot us a chat. I mean, we got all kinds of resources to help parents learn how to help children learn.
Yes.
So.
And I love that you said, let them color outside the lines, because very early on, I had my child in a little class, and she was not coloring in the lines, by the way. And a teacher pulled me aside and she goes, your daughter's not coloring inside the lines. And she was little. I mean, she was 3. And I remember I said, it's okay. That's okay right now.
Yeah.
I mean, and so I love hearing you say that, because that really almost made like a little permanent dent there in my mind. And I'm like, okay, like, let's not put so much pressure on our kiddos.
There's a documentary called The Race to Nowhere, and it was recommended to me by my son's ADHD specialist. And we do put pressure as parents. We want our children to be the very best, and of course we do. But at the ages of 3, 4, 5, we're pushing our children to be, they're not ready.
Right.
They're not ready to color within the lines. And we need to understand as parents that just because your child isn't coloring within the lines at 3, that doesn't mean they're not going to go to college. That doesn't mean they're not going to get a trade. That doesn't mean they're we're pushing them too early. So let the child play, because that's how they're learning. And we forget that that's how they're learning.
And I know that there are certain developmental milestones which are very important. But is it also true that every child is kind of on their own path too? And even though there may be a delay, we kind of have to look at that child individually, correct?
That's why we encourage, when we do the screenings, we encourage the mom, the caregiver, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, whoever's caring for the child. We encourage them to do the the screening with the child and not us, because we don't know the child and we don't know all of the capabilities. So that's we encourage the family, because it could be my granddaughter wasn't talking fully in
Mhm.
age 2. Now it's full sentences. She's not quite 3. It's just, but you there's other strengths. So you have to look at the full picture and not hone in on one item.
Right.
And for example, with my son, he wasn't talking and I was concerned.
Mhm.
And the pediatrician says he's not talking because he's getting all his needs met or his wants met.
Mhm.
He's like, that's, you guys are jumping too soon. Make him ask for things, make him use his words. So
Yeah.
those are things that ASQ that Tammy talked about earlier can help us find out. And
Mhm. You know, parenting is not easy. It's not. I mean, it doesn't matter what age they
my
are,
goodness.
but there are communities out there that can help you. And we've always heard it takes a village.
It does take a village.
And it really does. And
Mhm.
I just encourage caregivers not to be afraid to ask for help when they need it.
Because you talked about your preteen. I have a teenager.
Uh-huh.
I have an adult son at home who's about to turn 21. The parenting doesn't stop.
No.
And it's the most rewarding piece of work that I've ever done, but at the same time it's that mom guilt that what if I had done this differently? You know, I mean, it's
I know.
we need as parents to give ourselves a little grace.
We do.
And we beat ourselves up, but the children don't remember the things that I'm beating myself up. They remember more of the positive. So,
Right. Y'all have to tell you about this. Okay, so my daughter, a little under the weather, right? And so I heard her coughing in the middle of the night. So of course, as a mom, what do?
Run in.
You run in there, and she looked at me and just, it was almost like she was a little grown up. She goes, "I'm okay. I can handle this. You can go back to bed." And I'm like, I don't want to go back to bed. I want to just crawl in this bed with you right now and make sure
I
you're
need
okay.
you to need me.
Yes, I need you to need me. But then at the same time, it made me proud because she's growing
She's
up.
growing up.
She's maturing,
Yeah.
and it showed that she felt comfortable enough. Like, hey, if I need you,
If she really needs you, she's coming to you.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
didn't go very far.
No.
I just wasn't.
Right outside the hallway.
Yes, until she fell back asleep.
Yeah, that's hard. That growing up piece and letting them go is hard. And
Isn't it?
so that's why we're
Never
here.
let go.
Yeah, true. True.
Trust me.
Yeah.
No.
You never let go.
That's why we're so excited to be in the space that we're in to help parents, families, caregivers, whatever your family looks like, to help them in those very critical early years. I mean, we get to talk to parents about babies. We get to go hang out with babies. It's just,
That's not a bad
wonderful.
job.
It's not a bad gig at all. Yeah.
No. So if people are local, so here in Northwest Florida, and they want to contact you, what do they need to do?
They can go to elcnwf.org. We have a little chat bot. They can hit us up there. They can give us a call, 850-747-5400. They can follow us on Facebook. We make ourselves so available to families. We have newsletters they can sign up for. Anybody in the world can sign up for our family newsletter or our Power Up newsletter that's coming up. And we're going to be doing all kinds of resources for getting those children ready for kindergarten.
All of our blogs are on the website.
Yeah.
If you want to talk to somebody, we've also got folks that sit and talk to people on the phone all day.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So even if you're not here locally in Northwest Florida, there are still resources for you that you can tap into.
You can call our team and ask how to get a hold of your Help Me Grow affiliate wherever you live. If you're in Alaska, we can help you make that connection. If you're somewhere else in Florida and you need to get in contact with your local coalition, we can help make that connection. We're here for everybody.
Is there anything else that you think people need to know, or parents, caregivers that are listening today need to know?
You're doing fine. You really are.
Yeah.
And if you need help, call somebody. Let those babies play.
Yeah.
Let them play. Let them have fun.
Read to your children. Give them books. Yeah.
ladies, thank you so much for being
you.
here. What a fun
That
conversation
was
this was.
wonderful. I loved it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you heard them. You're doing great. Just read. You've been listening to Chapter Chat. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Happy reading.